Welcome to Poking Around in Commodore BASIC, Episode 1, The Missing Locate Plot Statement. Commodore BASIC is one of the more quirky versions of Microsoft BASIC available on microcomputers. If you cut your teeth on an Atari or Apple back in the day, and then moved over to the Commodore 64, well, you might be scratching your head and wondering what happened to some of your basic statements or commands. For example, you will not find a locate, or plot statement function built into Commodore BASIC. Now, believe it or not, the Commodore 64 does have a plot routine, but it's in the kernel. Now, don't worry, we can gain access to this routine through just a few pokes. To call the plot function in BASIC, you'll need to use 3 memory addresses. So the 3 addresses we will need to play with are 781, 782, and 783. 781 is the storage for the X register, 782 is the storage for the Y register, and 783 is the storage for the status register. The value stored in the X register at memory address 781 can hold a value between 0 and 24 because there are 25 rows on the Commodore screen. The Y register can hold a value between 0 and 39 because there are 40 columns on the C64 screen. Finally, I give the address 783 the value of 0. This will clear out the carry flag. Now, just poking those values won't automatically move the cursor to the position on the screen. We have to ask the kernel to do that through a plotting routine. Using the sys command, we kick off the kernel routine, and the next time you use the print statement, it will start printing at the XY coordinates you provided. So let's see this in play. I want to print Hello World in the center of the screen. Line 10 clears the screen and puts the cursor to the top left corner. Line 20 sets the value for the X, Y, and status for memory locations 781 through 783. Line 30 tells the CPU to move the cursor to the 13th row and 14th column of the screen. Line 40 will print Hello World starting at where the CPU put the cursor, and boom, it's centered. Now, if we were to add another print statement after the first one, it'll simply go ahead and move to the next line or row and start printing from the beginning of that row. Well, that's all the time I have for today. This is Bearded Son of Nell signing off and wishing you the best of luck on your next project.